In this video, I'm going to prove definitively that other people are emasculated and horrible, horrible individuals if they don't obey God through me, and it's insane not to see it that way. Also, we're going to see how it proves my argument about the martial art principles in the Bible, how they relate to each other, and how the top martial arts is Christ. Revelation shows us that he's born into the world, the woman and the dragon, and he's going to rule over the nations. I'm ruling over them, okay? They just don't accept that. We'll get to that. And why they change my image, they put red on my lips, they do bitch ass shit to try to make me seem like I'm in a gay spirit or something. Okay, first of all, the champion argument. Isaiah 42:13, the Lord is said to be a champion, a warrior, a mighty man, mighty warrior stirring up his zeal, not a brute like Conan the Barbarian. Psalm 19:4-5, the son is compared to the bridegroom and a champion rejoicing to run his course after a victory in a battle. We know that from Psalm 18, what they're talking about, the Lord training his hands for battle, that kind of a champion. We also know from Psalm 118, in the name of the Lord I cut them down, the Lord's right hands do mighty things, shouts of joy, rejoicing in the tents of the righteous, and so on and so forth. 1 Samuel 17:23, Goliath is referred to as a champion. This overkills what kind of a champion the Lord is. Isaiah 9:6, Jesus is referred to as mighty God, wonderful counselor. It overkills, again, that we're looking for martial art might, if you will, warrior might, okay? For surgical strikes, Hebrews, the sword of scripture, it's sharp, double-edged sword, etc. Mark 14:62, Jesus says, I am, and I'll be sitting at the right hand of the mighty one. Revelations 22:16, Jesus says, I'm the root and offspring of David, the warrior king, the most pronounced warrior king, because he beat Goliath in single combat, and that's greater than what Samson did, striking down 1,000 people. And it's a long story why that is, but the reason is, one of the core reasons has to do with single combat against a champion versus 1,000 mediocre run-of-the-mill guys, okay? And what it proves to be in that great of a spirit. Also, the difference between Samson being a brute and David being royalty. Not to be confused with the European royalty and so on and so forth, that kind of Prince Humperdinck hum nonsense, frat nonsense and so on and so forth. Anyway, second point, I suggest you watch this video many times because I got to go through this quickly. Isaiah 32, a king will reign in righteousness, right? A king will reign in righteousness. The people following him will reign in justice. And this is in the spiritual realm when we'll get to that. Proverbs 21:1. Okay, the king channels his heart to those who please him, right? That's why they have to obey me, among other things, okay? And this Isaiah 32 talks about water as well. Isaiah 16:5, okay? Justice and righteousness. They say Jesus is going to seek and speed the cause of justice and righteousness, okay? He's not going to sit there with a thong on and playing stupid in the church, and this is my quality as well. Point 3, the lion is not afraid. Isaiah 31:4 explores why the lion is not afraid. Proverbs 28:1, the wicked flee, the no one pursues them. The righteous are bold as a lion. Okay, Revelation talks about the Lion of Judah is worthy to open the scroll. So the lion is bold, he's righteous, he's the top martial arts. Luke 6:26. Woe to you when all men speak well of you, because that's how their ancestors spoke of the false prophets. Okay, so he's not going to be publicly recognized. I'm not publicly recognized. Okay, point 4, the belt and the sash. Ephesians 6:14, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness. He's going to have heart, right? The Lord weighs the heart. Isaiah 11:5, Revelations 1:13. They also talk about the sash and the belt, the golden sash around the chest. Okay, Revelation 15:5-6, the 7 angels have sashes around their chest. Okay, it's the hero versus the scribe, right? The scribe is like, what exactly are they referring to? The hero's like, who cares? Okay, focus on the core of the law: mercy, justice, faithfulness, righteousness. Mercy when it should be applied. Okay, point number 5, Genesis. Okay, remember, all eyes can see them, but he who has an ear, let them hear. He who has an eye, let them see. That's why all eyes, anyone who can see, even if it's just me and the people in the spiritual realm, see me as Christ. 5, Genesis 3:5, ye shall be like God. So Genesis tells us what the gods, the kings, the rulers of the earth, and one of them is the King of Kings, are like. Okay, it says, what are they getting at? Well, in Genesis 6, okay, just a few chapters later, the sons of God saw the daughters of man, that they are beautiful. And these were heroes of old, men of renown. Psalm 45 talks about, ride forth, you mighty warrior. And again, the king is described as a hero, and the daughter should submit to him, the bride should submit to him, because he's the king, he's the mighty hero, he's the most excellent man. He loves righteousness, hates wickedness, and God has anointed him with joy and elevated him above everyone else. Psalm 45 spells that out for us as well. So the heroes of old, men of renown, okay, these are the sons of God, okay, Psalm 45, Genesis 3, Genesis 6, Okay, you shall be like gods. These guys are betas, they're scribes. Betas is beast scrambled. They're brute beasts. Conan the Barbarian, knucklehead military guys, police. They're trying to superimpose themselves on the idea of a true hero. I don't have to explain that anymore. Point 6. Wisdom. Revelation 13:18 talks about the number of the beast, the mark of the beast. 666. 6 times 3 is 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18, and brings us to Proverbs 8:1, which says, "Does not wisdom call out?" That's not a coincidence. Numbers is even a book in the Bible. Okay, so and Proverbs 8 goes on and talk about insight and power and walking in the way of, and being prudent. Planning ahead. Preparing. Walking the way of righteousness along the path of justice, and talks about the highest point of the gate is where wisdom calls out. Okay, Jesus says, "I'm the gate. I am the gate. I'm the highest point of justice and righteousness." It's where wisdom calls out. No one is just or righteous after I die, because of generational ill-gotten gains, tech, and breeding. Point number 7. Whose children is the point? Whose children are you? Exodus 15:3, the Lord is the warrior, the Lord is his name. Isaiah 16:5 again, he will seek justice and peace, the cause of righteousness. Genesis 10:8 through 9. Okay, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. Genesis 8:39. If you were Abraham's children, you would do what he did. Okay, he'd be willing to put your God above your family. No one else is doing that. Okay, so some verse, I guess 21:43. The kingdom of heaven will be taken away from you, given to a people that will produce its fruit. 28:6. Okay, the spirit of justice. So God will give the spirit of justice to the one who sits on the throne. Okay, in Isaiah 28:6. And also in that verse 28, it says that he's a crown. So God's spirit, this warrior spirit, Exodus 15:3, is a crown. Who's the top martial artist? It's straightforward. I can prove it with Isaiah 28 and Exodus 15:3 alone. Isaiah 59:4, no one calls for justice, no one pleads a case with integrity. Isaiah 28:7, I believe it is, justice and righteousness are the measuring line and the plumb line. So again, going back to Isaiah 59:4, no one calls a case for justice, no one pleads a cause with integrity. They utter lies. To cheat me out of my top martial arts place is a lie. To one who's slacking, Proverbs 18:9, one who's slacking his work is brother to one who destroys. To not address my argument, if you know better and you don't know better, because there is no better, okay, would be slacken your work. So everyone's slacking their work. My argument is the bell that rings the loudest. They're not addressing it, okay? So by default, I am the Christ. I know the best. I'm the highest point. Okay, watch this video 7 or 8 times.